Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Some of you may have seen my episodes on Oxygen Pharma earlier during the beginnings of the COVID pandemic. We took a little break just to adjust to our new realities, whether it's at work or just general life realities. And now we are back as we start this new phase as businesses are starting to reopen, businesses that were closed by mandate for some time now, such as dental offices and other small businesses. We are now back to help you maneuver and tackle the new legalities and the new realities of the conduct and the operation of your business. So thank you for joining us. I know that we do specialize in pharmacy and pharmacy businesses, but we have been receiving a lot of requests from dentists and owners of dental offices who just want clarifications as to the new legalities that will be affecting their practice, including how to deal with their staff and as well as other matters involving their operations. And so we will be tackling these issues, and we will be having episodes that focus and concentrate on the dental profession and the challenges that the dentists will be facing in the near future as they reopen their practices. So stay tuned for that. But before we enter into this new chapter and that we started a new chapter together, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize, applaud, and commend all the efforts of frontline workers as well as small business owners who have been trying so hard in the past few months to stay afloat and to keep their businesses open and afloat and serving their community and their public. This is a very difficult thing to do. And for this, we applaud you. And we must all remember that we are all working together. No matter our background, we are all working together against this pandemic and into our new reality with positivity. I know that in the past few weeks, there have been demonstrations against racism. And we do have to make sure that in the face of all of this, that we are working together. And in order to better educate ourselves as to what is happening around us, I have asked a colleague of mine, Ms. Charlena Claxton, to come on the show and discuss with us in a little more detail as to what's happening, because that is our duty. Our duty is to educate ourselves and to have better understanding of what is going on around us. And joining me right now is Ms. Charlena Claxton, lawyer at Claxton Law, and also a dear friend of mine as well as colleague. We worked together previously. Thank you so much, Charlena, for joining me today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.
So, Charlena, I just wanted to get a better understanding of what's happening right now with the anti-racism actions that are currently taking place.
Well, let's just start throughout media and news outlets and social media. We're seeing a number of protests, a number of actions, and we often hear the term Black Lives Matter. So I'd like to talk about Black Lives Matter. It's a political movement. And the political movement, although it's coming to the forefront right now, it was actually started by 3 Black women in 2013 in the United States. And Black Lives Matter as a political movement was sparked by a growing intolerance for the lack of equality that Black people around the world have faced for over a century. So the Black Lives Matter may be new to some, and maybe even new to our generation, but the struggles in terms of what we're trying to address and what Black Lives Matter is trying to address is not new.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess the one line that I'm always seeing in social media these days, and that is, is upsetting certain people, is when when an individual says, yeah, Black Lives Matter, white lives matter, why would this be upsetting to certain people, you think?
You know, we all browse through these various news outlets and media sites, and I imagine that most viewers, most of your viewers, have come across what I am saying is an insensitive pronouncement of maybe well-intentioned and sometimes even ill-intentioned folk, claiming all lives matter should replace the focus of Black Lives Matter. And so let me be clear, on the face, when one in that context starts screaming all lives matter, while it may be true, the notion only skims the surface behind the true meaning of the global movement, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a movement and a push to end inequality and racism, and the focus is on Black lives. So just in case, to be clear, all lives matter in that context is inappropriate. It's insensitive. It signals a lack of appreciation for the plight of the Black community, not only in Canada but abroad.
Yeah, and as an immigrant, I can relate in a way in what you're saying. So basically, you're saying that, okay, well, the racism that's taking place should be what is highlighted. And that's why it's kind of insensitive when you're saying, okay, well, white lives matter, because they did not go through the racism and that is being highlighted right now.
Yeah. So Black Lives Matter is was not used, nor was it developed to suggest that Black lives matter more than anyone else's life. It was developed as a result of a global movement to recognize the inequalities and racism faced by the Black community. Those inequalities are felt in the criminal justice system, social housing, service industries, employment, just to name a few. So the Black Lives Matter is in a push to end such inequality and racism. Why it feels insensitive, ill-informed, is because not all lives matter is encompassed within Black Lives Matter, but the focus is on the inequalities that are being faced throughout the Black community, and the impact that inequality and racism has in our communities, in our families, in the development of our children, and in our day-to-day lives.
Thank you, Charlena. This makes perfect sense. And thank you so much for enlightening us and for participating in our show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me on another episode. I hope this was informative, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episodes. As I mentioned, we will be having a new show, Oxygen Dental, where we will be discussing all the different challenges that dentists and dental offices are facing now as we all get back into business. And we will also, of course, continue with our Oxygen Pharma show. And so stay tuned for our next episodes. I look forward to seeing you.